Hey everyone. If my look doesn't give it away, I get stopped at the airport too often for a random explosives test. Like, how random is it if it is every time? You get my question? But like, I found a way around it. So what I do is, on my customs form, I take yes to everything. And then the officer is like, mate, why have you take yes to everything? And I'm like, officer, I'm glad you asked. It's just that my grandma packed this bag. with a lot of love and tears. And she's 90 years old with a bit of dementia, so in case there's traces of seeds in the desserts. And the officer is like, mate, we wish your grandma a good life. You're good to go. So on that note, if anybody wants to buy cocaine, come see me after the show. No, but I do give that vibe. I give the vibe that I would sell you drugs and then help you claim it on your tax return. Like a bit like Osama bin crunching numbers. Yeah. I did used to crunch numbers. I used to work in one of those accounting firms who does a diversity hire. Like this. Yeah, a few people over there in HR over there, yeah? Like there's too many white people, so they hire a brown person. That's how I got hired. And then there's suddenly too many brown people, so they start hiring white people again. That's how I got fired. You get the vibe, yeah? Like I'm all for like diversity hiring, but what I hate is second-gen migrants. Like people who look like me but talk like Phil over there. Like coconuts, that's what I'm talking about, coconuts. And the problem I have with coconuts is they're stealing your job as well as mine. So when it comes to diversity hiring, I think there need to be some rules. Like if you're hiring a brown person, they gotta be proper brown. Like they still have to say Elizabeth Quay and Cockburn, then they're eligible. And if you're hiring a white person, they gotta be pure white. Like they gotta have hay fever or some shit going for them, you know? That's pretty white, eh? Yeah. Oh my God, I'm having the sniffles. I got hay fever. You're just weak, mate. Grow up, okay? The reason I don't have to worry about a proper job now is, guys, because after 6 long years, I finally got my citizenship. I'm an Aussie, yeah. And to celebrate getting my citizenship, I went to Bali. I'm an Aussie, yeah. Like, getting a citizenship is fine, but now that I have my citizenship, my dad thinks I'm making too much money. Like, he's always calling me for money. I'll pick up the call, and all I hear is, I need $400. And I have to check if it's a scam call. But it's my dad, you get it? And like anyone else who recently got their citizenship? Okay, privileged white people, hello, hi. Like to get your citizenship as well, you have to sit for a citizenship test. And I thought I was all ready. And the question was, Melbourne and Sydney are the busiest cities in Australia, but Canberra is the capital. Why? I just shit myself, guys. Like I started having a panic attack. Like my hands are getting restless, I'm sweating, I'm getting a bit shaky. The examiner saw this, he's like, mate, are you all right? I said, no, I think I'm having a panic attack. And he said, you mean like a mental health issue? I said, yes. He said, congratulations, mate, you are an Australian now. So, on that note, I am a proud Aussie now, so I'm going to therapy. And I gotta say, it is, therapy is nice, man. And like, I come from a very traditional Indian family, so I had to sort of come out to my parents that I'm seeing a therapist. Like, I'm like, Mom, Dad, we need to talk. And I'm like, Dad, just so you know, I'm seeing a therapist. And my dad is like, son, but your life is perfect. Why do you need therapy? And it's so awkward when the problem is asking you what the problem is. Like, who's laughing that hard? You got daddy issues too? Like my dad is he's a really simple man, but you know how I said he keeps asking for money? The reason he does that is because he's what you call a tight arse. Like I come from a very poor family, guys. We did not have a lot of money growing up. And you guys heard of Diwali? Diwali, make some noise. You know Diwali? Yeah. For those of you who don't know, that's our festival of fireworks. And I would see a lot of kids play with fireworks during Diwali. And I would tell my dad, I'm like, Dad, look at those kids playing with the fireworks. They look so happy. Why don't you get me some of that? And my dad would say, son, find happiness in their happiness. Such a tight arse, right? So when I was in Bali, he's telling me, when are you taking me to Bali? So I told him to find his happiness in my happiness. And I think that's pretty fair, guys. Like my dad is pretty simple. He's a nice guy, but he did not go to a proper university, so he does not have a worldly opinion. Like he doesn't know a lot of things. So like I still remember the first time my dad saw a gay couple. I was 14 years old. We're traveling on the Mumbai trains, and on the Mumbai trains you have to keep checking your wallet because there's so many people who steal it. Yeah. So we saw two guys standing like this, a guy at the back and a guy at the front, and a guy at the back had his hands like this to the guy at the front. And my dad saw this and he said, "Son, that is so beautiful." Two best friends making sure their wallets are safe. And I was like, let me give you some tips, bro, okay? And then I told my dad what is happening, and then that day my dad learned two important things. Number one, that gay love is beautiful. And number two, that you gotta be careful because his wallet got stolen. But no, man, I love it in Australia. I love it in Australia. And I want you to be super honest with this question, right? Like, I'm not gonna pick on you or anything. But do you think a little bit of racism exists in Australia? Yeah. Thank you for being honest, right? And I found a perfect way to end racism. The best way to end racism is adoption. Like, make some noise if you are pro-adoption. Yeah, few people. Like, I'm pro-adoption, but I'm pro-reverse adoption. Like, I want a rich family from India to come to Australia and adopt a kid from Bunbury. Like a white kid with blue eyes and a mullet goes to India and is raised as Raj Patel. But this time he looks like Phil but talks like me. You get the vibe? And for some reason, Raj Patel makes it to the Indian cricket team. But he's a terrible bowler. He's an Aussie. Terrible bowler. Who said boo? Don't boo me, man. We don't use sandpaper in our cricket, so... Alright, yeah. That's a good joke, but now he's gonna stab me, guys. So... Now, man, you guys have been a really fun crowd. Like, I'll tell you this, like, if you like what I do, I'll be handing out some stickers at the end of the show. If you want to understand what my dad looks like, he looks like me with hair. So, come check this out, guys. All right, have a good night. I've been Shash. Thanks so much.